Yo, we ready?
Yeah.
CPGM, CosmotatoGM.com. Visit the website, man. We got everything. Fantasy, podcast, YouTube, videos. We got everything, man. Just check us out. Yeah, get us on socials,
Facebook.
man. We everywhere. Let's go, man. We're going to do our 32 video series. We're going to every team. And then check out, wait for that counterparts to be counted on too. We're going to bring up one player offensively and one player defensively that your team is counting on this year to win football games, right? Mm-hmm. So, Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Expansion team. Came in 1995. Duval County. Shout out Rod E.
Yeah, Rod E.
Rod E.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. They started with Tom Coughlin, man. You know, Tom Coughlin, you know, he, after their first year expansion, they made the playoffs the next 4 straight seasons.
Tom Coughlin might be the next coach of the Jaguars, bro.
Yeah, yo. So,
what? Fred Taylor?
Oh,
Freddie T?
That's my favorite Gator. You know that's my favorite Gator, right?
Okay, yeah, I know why. That's nice. Yeah.
That's Freddie T, man. I'm a Seminole, but that's my favorite Gator, man.
Yeah, the best Gator is NFL.
Who's your favorite Seminole, man? Off topic. We don't talk about it.
Yo.
No love.
We'll talk about it when we get another team.
So yeah, we went to after we had the Del Rio. You know, they had the Byron Leftwich, Garrard, you know, MJD, Maurice Jones. Yeah. Oh no, we can't talk about that receiver. I know you're a Gator, but so no, I meant to scratch that.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
I might leave that in there though.
Razorback.
He just seem like a Gator receiver. Don't he seem like a Gator receiver, man?
Nah, man.
How do we get on the Gator receiver topic, dog? Y'all had some studs too, bro. Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green,
had them all.
You know,
Caldwell,
Dexter Jackson.
All of that Aaron Hernandez too, though. You know.
Yo.
So we got to the Jaguars, man. So you know, now it's the Blake Bortles era, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Gus Bradley.
Gus Bradley. Well, let's talk about Gus Bradley. He's 3 years there. I think he won 3, 4 games, 5 games. He's never won like 7 games there. I think the most he won was 5 games there. You know, he's supposed to be this defensive mind, and his defense has been at the bottom of the league the last 3 years, man.
But let me say, can you blame him though? Like, where's the talent, bro? There's no. I mean, back then there was no.
Yeah, 3 years to bring in some talent, bro. Run your system. You come from that Seattle system, man.
Who was the quarterback in them 3 years, man? You know what I mean?
Bortles for 2 of them.
I mean, who was the quarterback?
I mean, it's the type of team that's developing and having to get better. But coming from that Seattle group, the expectation is that your defense is supposed to be good. And clearly the offense has lapped the defense. Now, we'll talk about, obviously you guys are going to talk about, you know, what they've done, but Bradley's supposed to be this defensive mind, and the defense hasn't gotten any better. In fact, they were terrible. They've been terrible.
I agree.
You know.
And like I said, Blake Bortles is the guy now. Their offense is stacked. A lot of these young players, they've been drafting. The Allen boys.
They didn't draft Allen Hurns.
Oh no, undrafted.
Right? Yeah. They picked him up. You know, they got Chris Ivory to go along with Yeldon. Brought in Julius Thomas. Offensive line's getting better, so their offense is ready to go. And this draft, they kind of focus more on the defensive side. But this whole offseason, getting Malik Jackson from Denver, drafting Ramsey, and then your boy Jack.
Yeah.
They had Fowler coming back from last year.
Yeah.
So they got potential.
Derek Marks is coming back too. He was hurt. He was one of their better defensive players.
It's a talented team. It's my AFC team, man.
They picked up that's my AFC team too.
That's AFC team.
Yeah. They picked up Tashawn Gibson.
Yeah.
They got the safety. Is it Cyprian?
Yeah. FIU.
Yeah. I'm off today.
Yeah,
man.
Bro.
Down, man.
But you know, also
the talent is there, bro. Like it's there, but
he doesn't have an excuse.
Yeah, that's it. This is it.
And he has to have a winning record. I think he has to at least win 9 games to keep his job, because of the amount of money that they put in, how heavily they invested defensively this past draft. Obviously, their last 2 first-round picks have been on the defensive side of the ball. If you don't get it done now, especially with the Fowlers, the Derek Marks coming back from injury, we didn't mention Prince Amukamara as being, you know, he was added on a 1-year deal. If he doesn't get a winning record, especially in a weak division,
I think he's done.
I think he's done. Yeah. Like
make or break year.
This is a make or break year for Gus Bradley. It really is. It really is. They have spent a lot of money, especially the last 2 offseason. You know, this one was more, big names like the Malik Jacksons of the world. But they've spent a lot of money the last 2 off seasons. So Gus Bradley has to get it done now. He has to. You know what I'm saying? Bortles, I think that there's already discussions about Bortles being extended. They might extend him a year early because, you can get him a little cheaper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go $100 million necessarily. You might be able to get, around that $90 million, figure. So, if Gus Bradley fails to get over 500, and obviously he hasn't gotten to that point either, I think he's out of a job.
The unfortunate part for him is that the entire division improved. So have they improved to the point where
I think they're probably the most improved team in the division though.
On paper, definitely.
Okay, I'd agree with that.
Definitely.
So they got to win more than 6 games this year, man. They got to, like you said, they got to get up to the 9 wins, 10 wins. They got to, compete for a division.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're prognosticators. I don't know about Vegas just yet, but I'm sure that there's plenty, analysts out there that feel like Jacksonville has a legitimate shot, especially with Osweiler being this new fairly untested quarterback in Houston. I don't know that everybody's convinced that the Colts did enough, although we expect Andrew Luck to be better. And we just we talked about Tennessee. We don't think they're ready to compete. So you better get the 9 wins. You better get the 9 wins because I'm telling you, they've spent so much money the last 2 offseasons. The Jaguars were in on DeMarco Murray last year. Yeah. They were in on him. They've been trying. They've been trying to really bolster the talent on the team, and I think they've done a really good job. I like what they have at every level of their defense now. I like what they have.
That owner over there, he trying to win games, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, So the future, where does the, I mean, we're talking about Gus Bradley's future, but what about this franchise itself?
Hey, man.
It's, to me, part of it's on Gus Bradley, but we talked about that. And the other part of it, I think, is on Blake Bortles. Every year he's been in the league, I'm saying, he's improved. He went from being, a tight end at UCF to playing 1 year of college QB football.
2. He got 2.
Two. So, to me, as long as he improves steadily, he'll be fine. I mean, we named all the weapons. Got all them weapons, man. There's no excuse on his side outside of just improve, just be better. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a giant question mark on Blake Bortles. You have some people believing that he's the next guy, and then you have some people believing like Juice believe that he ain't it.
But see,
so it's like,
hold on, but see,
it's this with Blake Bortles. It's a big question mark.
That's to me, people, I understand from college where he's coming from. He was put on a team, a terrible football team. He was almost in the same position as Mariota is now. But now Jacksonville has all the pieces put into place. You know what I'm saying? They're all on the board. What you gonna do with them? You know what I'm saying? It's I think his progression is pretty damn good.
To Drew's point, he's exceeded my expectations to this point. I still don't think he's good. I still don't think he's good because and I've gone on record about the underlying numbers, but there's no denying that Bortles has improved. There's no denying that. You know what I mean? Now the point that I want to make and the point that I have made is that Bortles is not good enough to carry this team.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think well, actually, I do believe the Jaguars brass understands that. Yeah. Hence the reason why they've spent as much as they have.
Yeah,
that's why they've tried to. I mean, certainly they've surrounded him with copious amounts of talent. He has to protect the football. You know what I mean? He led the league in interceptions last year. You know what I'm saying? So, while there's a lot to like, and I mentioned it before, on the post, regarding the fantasy versus reality with Blake Bortles. www.couchpotatogm.com. Kurt Warner went on record and said, you know what? There's things that you like about Blake Bortles and there's things that you don't like. And the numbers at 35 TD total, which was astronomical leap from year one. It's a little misleading. Yeah. You know what I mean? Certainly having Allen Robinson healthy, Julius Thomas, towards the end of the season really came alive. Obviously that made a difference, and Bortles getting a year better. But he got away with a lot too. Yeah. He got away with a lot, and routinely. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this comes down to the Jags defense. They were playing from behind, so some of those numbers are empty numbers. Yeah. You know what I mean? They are.
Let me say this though. Let's. My assumption is that the Jags D is going to play better.
Right.
Okay. Just by them having better.
Just players. Injecting more talent.
Yeah.
Sure.
Period. Okay.
Sure.
And what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say.
That happens.
You on that drink too?
Yeah.
A little bit. Would you rather have a Alex Smith where it's checking down? Let's not throw anything past 15 yards.
You like the quarterbacks to get the receivers a chance.
No.
And see, that's the argument that I have in my head.
But you have to find, it's a fine line though. It's a fine line. I'm not suggesting that Bortles needs to check the ball down.
No,
what I'm saying is,
would you rather have safe or would you rather have aggressive?
I need somewhere in between that.
But see, do you see him with? I mean, it's only what 3 years.
This is 3 years.
Yeah.
So with the 2 years we've seen, do you see him sliding towards? Do you think he's going to slide towards somewhere in the middle, or do you think he's going to stay right where he's at with the aggressiveness?
I don't know.
And let's say the defense balls out. Are you okay with being aggressive?
That's my point. I think the brass understands that Bortles isn't ready to. We're not ready to put it on his shoulders completely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale it back. Okay. If the defense is better, if they can run the football in the red zone, if they can do X, Y, and Z, then there's not as much of a load on Bortles. You understand what I'm saying? Bortles can be a better quarterback and throw 10 fewer TDs this season.
I agree.
My point is, don't get carried away with the statistics that you saw last year, because it doesn't tell the whole story. That's my only point. That's the only point that I'm making with Bortles, because like I said, Bortles has exceeded my expectations. He has. I thought Bortles should have stayed in school. You know what I mean? Yep. But he played a power move. He was exactly
quarterback.
Exactly. Prototypical size, arm strength, the upside, he was touted as having the highest ceiling among all of those quarterbacks in that class. So I completely understand the move to go ahead and select him. And that leap, what he did in year one, that didn't surprise me at all. He was awful. He was
That's
awful.
Exactly what you.
He was terrible.
Thought you was gonna see.
Yeah. And the leap from year one to year two is encouraging, but it's not as good as people think. I think some people are starting to put him in that rarefied era, like Jacksonville's already talking about extending him. No,
you gotta.
No, from an economic standpoint, it may make sense, but I don't know that he's ready to get paid like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If they give him that deal, that's going to be
you locked in
20 million.
Exactly, you locked in. So I'm telling people out there, the people who believe in his talent, yes, that he is making strides in the right direction, but he is by no means a finished product, and he's not as close as some people think either. That's really what I'm getting at.
Definitely, I agree with that. He's progressing, but we got to see year 3 what he do, man.